Sunday, October 24th.
Wateree Passage, Palmetto Trail, Highway 601 and 48.
Actually, oh, we're gonna go to the sign because we turn and go that way.
Well, I think the trail's right here.
Yeah, but to get to the Wateree Passage, we go that way, remember?
Oh, yeah, okay.
But anyway, while we're here, let's look at the sign.
You lead then.
Wow, I'm stiff. I'm stiff. Has it rained recently?
No.
What's with all this water back here?
Last time we were here
It was cold.
January, February.
Yeah. See what the sign says. Very informative. It says Palmetto Trail. Okay, we're coming to the intersection.
Yeah, that deer walked right down this trail, dear.
Yeah, there's plenty of nuts here for him to eat. There's tracks all over the joint. So this is a farm field, private property. And that's private property over there, and this is the trail.
You should be hitting the train tracks soon here.
Yeah, and this is, so the power plant is that big smokestack over there. So that's the power plant, which is why there's a big power line coming through here. Lots of electricity flowing above our heads. But we're going to generate that much off of solar. Look at those gnats right there.
Yep.
A bunch of gnats. Well, that's what you heard. It's that bird. He didn't like us.
Lots of birds still
He
here.
didn't like us. Oh, they've already plowed whatever was in there up in preparation for the winter. We should soon be coming up on the train tracks. They're up here a little ways. Do you have your bear spray?
No, I did not bring my bear spray.
Why not?
Because I have you.
Because you have me. Said how that works.
Yes. Where we're at here, I'm more worried about snakes than bears.
Yeah, me too.
Although it is possible they've been spotted so far. Vines.
You having some sort of a seizure over there?
No, I got into some vines over here.
Okay.
Get up over on this side. They've spotted black bears all the way down to Wateree County and Myrtle Beach State.
Oh yeah, there are a few in here. They're not as dense as where we had our bear encounter in Bryson City. There's one black bear for every No, 2 black bears for every square mile. Up there. I don't know what the stat is for down here, but a lot less.
Sure.
Now, snakes, on the other hand.
I think they turned it.
There's a turd.
I don't know what kind of a turd they got. A Swedish turd.
Huh, okay. Turd.
Cat turd?
No. It wasn't bear or panther crap, so I'm not worried about it.
I'm glad we found that little parking lot.
Yeah, it's pretty neat how they did that.
Yeah.
That's a nice little grotto. They have a little house back there. It's pretty slick. Well, here we are at the turnoff. We're coming from the farmer's field and headed into the bush. See that spider web hanging right there?
Yep. There are reasons I have you here. Put things up and put them down and get rid of all the spider web.
Yeah. That's why you make me walk in front, not because I can, you know, take first shot at the bear, but, you know, to clean all the spider webs out. Look at all that firewood.
Yep. Yeah, well, you can see the spider webs in the snake.
So that is an active train track, still in use.
Yep. But it's tricky as I'll get out back in here at night.
If you were camping like over there in those weeds, and especially if a train came by here and it was pitch black,
Yep.
you feel the ground vibrating and whatnot. My whole head is wrapped in cobwebs right now.
Do I need to help you?
No. I got demons running all through me.
Oh, watch the leaves, they're slippery.
Yeah, the leaves are slickery. Something was scratching around right there. I said something was scratching around right there. Well, like anybody's been back here in a while. I saw some footsteps, some tracks back there in the dirt part of the trail. I'm just pretty much taking a guess at the trail. You can barely see it running through here. It'll be much more defined once we get on the other side of the railroad tracks. But I also know because of the marker. Somebody should come out here and paint these trees a little better. Put dots on them so you know how to follow it. This path is it's pretty covered over.
Yep. We didn't already kind of know where we were going.
Well, it's my superior tracking skills.
Well, we've already done it before.
Yeah, we've been down this once before.
Time.
Yeah.
Very bright. You know, they pick them up even yellow.
Well, they need to have white dots
Yeah.
on a few of the trees to keep you on path. But it's mostly my superior tracking skills.
Another reason I have you do that.
Wow, look at that spider.
Ooh. He's magnificent.
Yeah. It looks like he's missing a couple of legs. And I got spider web all over me, but yeah, look, see, he's missing like 2 of his front legs.
Must have caught the wrong group.
Yeah, something happened. We're gonna fight with another spider. Okay, so this is the branch off the old rail bed that used to come through here. It was built in what, the late 1800s?
Yep.
This is the active rail bed closest to us that we're standing in now. And then this is the old rail bed. It was built in the 1800s. Okay.
I'll leave that one right there.
Yeah, it's right there at the end of the track. And be careful. Lots of railroad spikes in here. And make knives and things out of. Now this section, as you can see, is pretty long and straight. And there's trees growing up since they stopped. When did they shut this rail line down? 1940?
Yeah. Long time ago.
Yeah, it's 1940 or something. So there's a lot of trees growing up in here since trains don't come down this track anymore. But this section is a little ticklish because you can, as you can see, there's whole and semi-rotten and rotten rail timbers that you got to just step judiciously. And there's some tree roots. But this goes on for, I don't know, a little over a quarter, maybe a half mile of walking down the actual old rail bed. And then it opens up into the, it's still a rail bed, but they've pulled all the rails and timbers out. This section, I guess they left the rails and timbers in for historical purposes or context. Or can you imagine being a train engineer, you know, 1898, just chugging along this track, nothing for miles. Look at that area right there, is all rooted up. There's some hogs rooted that area up right there. You see it?
Yep.
It's amazing. These timbers, I don't know if they ever replaced them. I don't know if they had a replacement plan when they laid them in the 1800s. But if they stopped using this rail line in the 1940s, and these timbers, you know, these timbers are pretty old. 60 years would take us to 2000. And then we're 21 years in, so that would be 81 by my math.
Yep.
So these timbers are at least 81 years old. I mean, who knows when the last time they were replaced or if they were ever replaced. Quality workmanship. They might have been hand hewn. No, they probably put them in a sawmill. Huh?
Yeah, they had a mill by then.
They were probably sawmilled. But I bet all these plates, these bang plates and stuff, I bet those were all hand forged. How many thousands of rail spikes do you think were in this? and all driven by hand in the 1800s. They didn't have machines that did it back then, did they?
Nope.
Here's the rail spike.
Yeah, I've pulled a couple out already.
Yeah, those are all driven by hand. And these nuts holding the spike plates in were probably all done by hand.
A little bit of a swamp down there, Daddy.
Yeah, I see that. Yeah, like I said, you're just chugging along, you know. 1898.
Can't even imagine how dark it would be back here in the middle of the night. Taking down these tracks.
Pretty freaking dark. Look at that bird feather. Some of these timbers are showing their age. They're not like you, dear. They're showing their age.
Thank you, dear. I think that was a compliment.
Well, that would mean you're not showing your age.
I refused to.
I'm not giving up. I'm a Toys R Us kid. Friggin' spider webs, man. Everywhere. Every frickin' where.
Spiders have to eat too, dear.
I know, but they don't have to eat me. Well, I guess I can't snatch their spider web down when I'm coming and put it back up later. I'm sure some of them will be put back up by the time we come back through, and I'll catch them again.
They're desperate and we're in their world.
I know I'm in their world. Why can't they just build them 2 feet higher?
The bikes are down here lower.
I guess.
There's spider webs up there too, dear.
Sucks. My forehead is perfect bug catching height.
See, even if I walked in front of you, dear, I couldn't say that there's spider webs above me.
I know. They're all forehead height to me. Geese or ducks. There's the ducks. I like ducks. You like ducks?
Yes, I do like that. Especially if they're roasted. So.
Hey. Roasted duck. We're going to be out of this rail bed soon. You can see the end of it right up there. You imagine the amount of labor it took to... Oh, look at there. The hogs were rooting right there.
Yep. All over down there.
The amount of labor it took to... Dang, spiders. First clear this land, you know, for all these miles. And then they had to build up the berm.
Because it's all swamp.
Right. Pack the rail bed. And then, yeah, haul everything in. And then lay the timbers. Put the track in, nail it, and screw it down. It was a lot of work. And I bet most of the workers just slept right here by the tracks. When they were done for the day, they cooked their meal by the fire and just crawled inside of a canvas tent and went to sleep. 1 mile to the drawbridge, dear.
That's new, isn't it?
No. So this right here is an old road. You can see where it was paved, and the rail bed crosses it, the train crosses it. And so the road was paved that direction and then went off that way. No idea what it was for. And now we're off the rail bed. I mean, we're off the rails. And we're into the old rail bed. And it's had the timbers and the rails pulled. So if you listen real quietly, this is why we like the forest. Coming out in nature. It's all the animal sounds and stuff. So that's the power plant on the other side of that berm. But you can see that creek that runs to the river. And the river is just up ahead at the end of the tunnel-like trees. And there's lots of animals out here. So we stopped right here, a little swampy area, a bunch of cypress trees, but then the cypress knees, the young cypress trees are growing up. And they develop those knots. And you said they look like a graveyard.
It does. It looks like a graveyard.
Very interesting. It's out in the middle of this whole thing. You know, there's oaks and gums and stuff like that. And then there's just like a bunch of cypress. These are all cypress trees. I guess when there's the type of environment for them, they'll grow. But see, I wonder why they're not growing on that side. I guess it doesn't say wet enough.
Probably doesn't.
It gets wet some, but not enough to sustain
This kind of tree.
cypress.
Look how tall that tree is.
I know.
That's a huge tree.
Very tall. All right, we're approaching one of the many trestles on the passageway, the Palmetto Trail, over waterways and rivers and creeks and swamps. I believe this one goes over the Wateree River. And this is Ed Sellers Bridge. I don't know who Ed Sellers is, but he's got a bridge. And obviously they've recovered it, but those are probably the original steel beams on it. And look how that tree has grown around the bridge like that. How odd. That's probably the original steel in the bridge. And there's the Wateree River. It's very low right now. There's a turd. Somebody let their dog take a crap on the bridge and leave it. That's just great. People are idiots. If you have a dog and you're on the trail, don't let it poop in the middle of the trail. There's the inlet where the power plant can draw water, I think, from the river. I'm not sure what that's for, but it's the power plant.
So you got to know that those things are down there if you come through there, obviously.
You can see it. You have to know how to read the water.
That must have been some sort of a... Is there a line?
It might have been, yeah, it might have been some sort of a bridge or something, but yeah, you can read the water when you're driving it on a boat. You can read and know when there's something under the surface.
those pylons are all over down there.
Mm-hmm. There was probably
That direction.
it's probably some sort of a footbridge or something.
Beautiful.
And that's the Wateree River.
Floating down the river.
Yeah.
Somebody played poo sticks.
I guess this was at one time a drawbridge because it split. No, maybe not.
No, we
Wonder
didn't
why
go
it would
down
be.
the aisle, but
Wonder why it would be built like that. Weird. Look at that lizard. See him? I can hear the river below us. There's another lizard. They're all over. Look at him. There's another one. This one's got some food or something.
Got a bug?
Yeah, he's got something in his mouth. There's two more. There's another one. There's lizards all over the joint. It's a little lizard fiesta.
Yeah, there's one right went down over there. There's that one.
Lizards.
Another one right there.
Yeah. Lizards all over the joint.
Look at all of them, Rick.
I know.
Look at that.
I know. There's a bunch of them. It's like a dozen right here. So you can go down and there's like a little camp spot right there. The river's super low right now. So this is a boardwalk. It was built up after another lizard. This was built up to keep you from having to walk in the swamps when it floods.
This bridge made possible by the Edward and Dorothy Kendall Foundation.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Edward and Dorothy Kendall.
Yep.
But this keeps you from having to walk in the swamps when the river's high. You can see there's a lot of saw palmetto and stuff out here. And this floods when the river's high.
Look at the bark on the tree. The river birch?
Yeah, river birches.
Cool. Now here with the blower, I'm blow this one off.
It's a lot of blowing. This is a long... Yeah, well, that's what she said, right?
Yeah.
This is a long footbridge they put up here. So we stopped for some water and we're a little ways down the trail. Well, the footbridge. You can see there's game trails all up in here and hog roots. The hogs have been rooting around. Very pretty dense section of the swampland here. And you can see old remnants of the rail bed and stuff. And it used to be through here. I guess the bridge or the rail was, because you can see there's actually, I guess the train was elevated too.
Well, probably because it's
Yeah, it couldn't go through the swamp. And it's nice that they built this footbridge up here to give us some place to hike through. Isn't the Palmetto Trail primarily rail bed?
yeah, a lot of it is railheads.
Because I know the peak to Palmaria Passage is all rail bed. And this is the Wateree Passage that we're on. And then there's the Andrew Jackson Passage, and there's a bunch of them. Ooh, look at that spider. There's another one of those big garden spiders.
He's magnificent too.
Yeah, when I was in the jungles overseas, those spiders 2x that size would build their webs right in the middle of the trail. And at night you couldn't see them, and I used to walk with a stick in front of me like this. Because if one of them things wraps around your head and you feel that big old spider crawling around, you poop your skivvies, if you know what I mean.
I was looking at that hobbit hole.
Oh, in the tree?
Tree.
Yeah. There's another one right over here.
Yeah, I see it.
So at the end of this footbridge section, there's a suspension bridge that somebody has a little issue with. I have no doubt that you're going to go over it, but you have a little bit of an issue with it.
Yes, I do, but I'm getting over it.
Well, see, since the last time we came down here, you went on that big suspension bridge in Gatlinburg.
Well, and we've done some trails with little logs with one rail going across it. The one on the Pepper Trail.
Yeah. Well, if you'd finished reading his book,
I'm working on it.
he talks about why there was no supplies in that area, because the terrain is so rough you can't do a pack mule or a wagon through there. So you had to either pack whatever you could on your mule or carry it in a bag. A little stop out with some little corner benches. And I see your bridge. I see your suspension bridge. That's the end of the raised portion. And you get up here across this suspension bridge and it goes on a little piece and then you're kind of out of the swamp. It's amazing that this much land, I just walked into a spider web, by the way. Amazing that this much land gets flooded.
Look at the size of that tree out there, dear. Look at that thing.
Which one? Oh, yeah.
See it? Oh.
It's a big old tree.
Is that a cottonwood?
I don't know. It's a tree.
Cottonwood.
Could be. It's a big old tree.
It's magnificent.
You know what kind of tree it is?
What?
Big.
Yeah. Leave it as a cottonwood.
I think you might be right. There's a little tributary up here that runs through. It might be dry now, but that's why there's a suspension bridge. It's over that little tributary. When we get up here, you can see there's some pylons and stuff where there used to be a footbridge across it. Some other stuff, and yeah, it's mostly dry now. As dry as it's been. And here's a footbridge that lets you get down in the swampy area. I got spider webs all over me. Hey, only 12 people on this at a time. So yeah, you can see the creek or waterway that used to come through here is pretty much dried up. We haven't had any rain in a while. Are you ready? You want me to go across it first?
You want to.
Ooh. 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 It's pretty bouncy. You probably better hang on to the rail. It gets bouncy in the middle. Okay. Rock on, what's your bad self?
You just think you're smart.
I saw you dipping.
Well, of course, I'm balancing myself.
Balance yourself. Good job, dear. You did it.
I'm overcoming my fears.
I know. I'm very proud of you.
We have not done this part.
Nope. We stopped at the suspension bridge last time coming this direction. And here we are at the end of the footbridge. And we're back in the regular rail bed, and somebody built a bench. That's nice. And there's a bird box. So we're about 2.5 miles in. And right here at the tip of my stick is a little toad. Maybe the camera can pick him up. See him hopping along. A little bitty toad. We thought you was a toad.
I knew that we would do that.
But we're about 2.5 miles up the trail. Feeling pretty good. This would be a very pretty but lonely train ride if you were just the guy operating the train or the conductor in the caboose. I bet it'd be nice though in the winter time when all the leaves are gone and you're just chugging along. I see another trestle up in the distance. Canes and saw palmetto down there.
Cane down there. That's a cane too.
That's what I said.
Oh, I didn't hear you say.
All right. We're approaching Trestle 8, Kohler's Old River West Branch. My pack is squeaking. All right. A little waterway, mostly dried up, swampy area. Old remnants of the rail timbers and stuff. I guess I had to pull, damn spiderwebs. I guess I had to pull the rail timbers out to put this walking bridge up, huh? What, did somebody have a blowout here and had to fix the railing?
Came down. See the tree?
Oh yeah, a tree came down across. Well, it got one side but not the other.
Yep.
Weird. Yeah. It's quite a drop. A waterway that has some water in it. Pretty neat. See the old pilings down there.
No gators there.
Well, their job is for you not to see them so they can eat you when you're stupid enough to go down there and put yourself in the water. Did you hear that woodpecker?
Mm-hmm.
Watch your sticks. You almost jugged me in the jewels with those. All right, there's the end of that trestle. We just heard a chupacabra. Did you hear it? You know there's lizard man up in here too.
Oh yeah. I hope we see the lizard man.
I would like to see the lizard man. We're approaching another trestle. We've got to be close to 3 miles in. Let's see what we got here. 3.06. So we're 3 miles deep. That's smell horses. You smell horses?
No.
Trestle number 7, Kohler's Old River East Branch. So same river, east and west side. Okay?
Yep.
I smell animal. You don't smell that?
No, but you know, I've only got half my...
Yeah, there's animals around. I can smell them. Smells slightly horsey. It could be a pig.
Up there.
I see it. I can't believe you can't smell that. Lizard. Snake. Damn spider webs. Wow, I can't believe you can't smell that.
Can't. You're not smelling dead critter.
No, it's not dead. Smells suspiciously like hog now.
Oh, that's disgusting.
Yeah. I mean, we're in hog country. Does this camera have smell-o-vision?
See another tree hit the bridge here.
Yeah. And here's the east branch of Kohler's River. There's a squirrel. See that little squirrel down there?
Yep. Is he getting a drink?
I think he has a nut. He's just a squirrel trying to get a nut to move your butt to the dance floor. Or something like that. I don't know. Whatever. This wood needs some maintenance. It's a little squishy. Little squishy. Something pooped right on the rail. How rude.
Cat marking its territory?
It could be a bobcat. Yeah. I don't think cats mark their territory, dear, but so you see that right there? You see that wallow
Yeah.
right there?
That's where
That
Hud's-
is fresh. And you can see the trail right through there. That's a fresh. I told you, I see hoof prints down there in it too. I told you I smelled something. The nose knows, dear.
Look at this poop. It's got seeds in it.
Raccoon, maybe? I told you I smelled something. That is fresh. I mean, there's leaves laying in it, so it's been there for a little while. But, I mean, that was last night, this morning. And here we are at the end of the trestle. So we're 3 1/4 miles in, and we've decided to turn back. That'll give us about 6.5 miles for the day. Pretty nice hike.
I haven't seen another soul the entire time.
Not a single one.
No bikes.
No bikes, no people. We saw a squirrel,
That's a lizard.
a bunch of lizards, birds,
Toads.
some toads. We saw some toads. But when we get back down by the car, there's a little picnic bench and a little picnic area. And we may...
All the way along here. Look at this.
Yeah,
There's
yeah.
poop. There's poop. There's poop.
This must be the animal's toilet. This is the forest toilet.
There's poop.
Oh, there's a dead bird.
There's poop. Oh.
How did we miss that on the way up here? That leaf must have been in the way of it. Dead bird.
Huh.
Clean up aisle 3.
Pretty bird too.
Yeah, but when we get down there by that little...
Hey, Daddy,
Yo.
look at this. The strings on that tree.
Oh, yeah. It's kind of nice. Are those to get you high shrooms? Or the regular shrooms? There's a squirrel down there. Or maybe it's a bird. Oh, it's a bird. There's a bird down there. Little birdie. When we get back down by the car, there's a picnic area. And maybe we'll stop and have some lunch.
I need water.
You want to get some water?
Yeah, I need to drink.
All right, there you go.
Thank you.
You know, we always complain about me forgetting to bring binoculars. And I have our binoculars and we haven't used them once. So ran across a snake skin.
You want me to pick it up?
Yeah. I'll leave it here. It's part of nature. That's a big old snake. He's a pretty good sized snake.
It's interesting that he was up here when he shed it.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Well, we're in his land here. We're in his house.
Yep.
He's allowed to go anywhere out here he wants to.
Yep.
His house. We're in his world. Snakeville. There's a squirrel right over there. I turned the camera on because there was a couple of birds over here just having a sing fest. I don't know if you can see that squirrel. There was some birds over there, over that direction. They were just having a sing fest. As soon as I turned the camera on, they shut up.
There's some right up above you on the right.
Yeah, but they ain't doing anything like that. Them two over there were. Let's see if we can get them to do it again. I think he's trying to find a mate.
There's a bunch of them flittering around down underneath here.
Mm-hmm. That doesn't sound like his, hey, I'm looking for a mate call.
What time of year does it say looking for me?
Cracks me up in the spring and summertime when they're out here just singing their fool heads off, trying to find a mate. Too bad there's no grapes on those. I'd eat some. There's some turkeys in the trail up in front of us. I don't know if you can see them on the camera. They're up there near the suspension bridge. Maybe a quarter mile in front of us. You see them?
Yep.
Is it turkeys or buzzards?
Here.
Those are by God turkeys. 4 hens. They're moving away from us now. They heard us. They're about a 1/4 mile up there. 4 hen turkeys. Huh. Very cool. That was a poor imitation of a turkey. I hope the camera can see them. And they're not just blobs in the distance. Yeah, those things were way up here, man. I mean, we were a 1/4 mile from them. Eyes like a hawk here. Well, as long as it's farther than a foot in front of my face, I can see it. If it was a foot in front of my face, I'd never be able to see it. It'd be blurry. As long as it's more than a foot away from me, I'm good to go. We're right up in this area. Yeah, right up in here. And we're not going to see any tracks in this gravel. But they were right in here when we saw them. They skittered off that way. All that wood stacked up down there. Driftwood and stuff. Old railroad timbers. But they were right in here. Just chilling. So we're on the boardwalk on the way back. About to go over the suspension bridge portion. What?
Heron.
Oh, a heron. That was a blue heron. That's a big bird. He's probably in that water fishing. Yeah, he was down there in that creek fishing. They're good fishermen. Fisher birds. Right? We're about to go over the suspension bridge portion of the walkway. Woohoo! It's bouncy. Hey, boo-boo. Look at the suspension bridge. You can have 12 people at a time on this, dear. You don't have to wait for me.
You make it bounce.
I make everything bounce. It's just what I do. You're doing good. Good job, dear. Look at the watermarks on the trees.
Yeah, I was looking at that.
You see the watermarks on the trees?
Shows you how dry it is right now.
Yeah. So we made it back to the Wateree River trestle. Look at that lizard on top of there. Oh, there's a couple of them. There's lizards all over the place, but we made it back to the trestle bridge over the Wateree River on our way back. Okay, we're back at the section that has the track still in it from the original train or rail line. We're making pretty good time on the way back. I wonder where this road went. We're gonna have to research this.
Yep. Thank you.
So it goes off that away towards the power plant, and it comes from that away 601. So I don't know. Very odd. But here we are. We're back at the original tracks. There's something paddling around. Look at that rail clamp right there. That's probably hand forged. Something was paddling around out there. Did you hear it?
Mm-hmm. Might have been fish flipping.
Maybe. Might have been a crocodile or a turtle. Huh? Could have been a lizard man. Could have been a chupacabra. It's a red-headed woodpecker right there. I don't know if the camera can see it. There's a red-headed woodpecker right in front of me. He just flew off. There's a red-headed woodpecker.
Oh.
So we made it back to the new rail bed. So we're back in the short forested section that runs next to the tracks. We'll soon be back to the farmland and then back to the parking area. So we're about to go over or up the only appreciable incline on this entire section of trail. The Wateree Passage. This is the only incline of any significance on it. And this is it. Whew, I'm bushed. So I can see the farmland area up ahead. So we're about to break back out into that. Then we'll stop down there near the parking area and have some lunch. All right, we just came back out into the farm area.
Can you give me my water?
Yep. And we just had a short discussion and decided that we were just going to go back to the vehicle, have a stinger, a water, and a shot, and go home. So no lunch today. So we found the new parking area.
Yep, pretty nice.
The parking area for this end, the lower end of the Wateree Passage on 601 and 48, used to be across 601 from the trailhead. And they closed that off and built one on the same side as the street as the trailhead, right next to the trailhead. So across the street from where it used to be, they built a new parking area, which is pretty nice. Rather small, but pretty nice. But we saw lots of animal poop, a snake skin,
Dead bird.
a dead bird,
Lots of
a
lizards.
heron,
Yep.
bunch of lizards,
Couple toads.
some toads, turkeys, and a red-headed woodpecker. So there's the new parking area. Anyone that's familiar with this end of the Wateree Passage, I remember that the trail or the parking area was on the far side of 601. It's now on this side. So you don't have to cross 601 to get to it. And there it is. The new parking area on this side of 601. It's a little smaller than the old area, but nice nonetheless. Love for the brothers that aren't here. Shalom.
Not bad.
Tasty.